Chapter 439. Counterattack. Long Chun stood on the ninth crescent moon, but he was still clueless. Heavenly Flame Beast, burn everything here. After a while, Long Chun no longer hesitated and gave the order. Dao-doo-doo, the exotic fire beast leaped out from the totem on Long Chun's right arm. Its small body was like a stream of light as it flew through the entire forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Countless heavenly flames soared into the sky, and the entire forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan turned into a sea of fire in an instant. Seeing this, Long Chun still did not stop. Streams of Earth origin energy whizzed out from his right hand as he shouted, "Fuse!" Countless Earth-type precepts from all directions rapidly swept toward his fingertips. The entire forbidden area of the Hallyu Ancient Clan had turned into a void. Only the ripples of the matrix were supporting everyone's feet. Countless flames of various colors were burning in all directions, exuding a scorching aura that even Rinhuangs would be wary of. Rumble. One by one, figures appeared in the forbidden area. Many elders of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan stepped on the ripples of the matrix. Their faces turned from green to purple. Everyone looked at Long Chun. Long Chun's gaze was like sharp Taoist scraping across his body. "You actually dared to destroy my clan's forbidden grounds with a strange flame." The elder priest's voice sounded like it came from the depths of hell, and it was extremely hoarse. He never thought that Long Chun would have the strength to kill Han Qing and the others. After all, Han Qing and the others had heavenly domain energy in their bodies. Even an expert like Han Xian would lose his life if he was careless. However, they had all died tragically at the hands of Long Chun. There was also the deviant flame. He knew a lot about heavenly flames, but there were several heavenly flames here which completely exceeded his knowledge. Otherwise, this forbidden area wouldn't be in such a terrible state. Almost all of its source energy had been destroyed. Long Chun stared at the crowd and revealed a cold smile. He said coldly, "What? Elders of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, are you going to violate the Ancient Clan Treaty again?" As soon as Long Chun finished speaking, everyone outside the Forbidden Passage, led by the Alchemist Guild's elder, forcibly stepped into the Bright Moon Ancient Clan's Forbidden Passage. One figure after another appeared between Long Chun and the experts of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, causing the situation to become tense. The clan leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan took a step forward and said coldly to the crowd, "Didn't you see that? This person actually destroyed the forbidden area of my Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Do you still want to mention the Ancient Clan Alliance?" An elder from the Sword Worship tribe stood at the very front and said with a playful smile, "The Ancient Races Treaty only states that when the younger generation enters the forbidden grounds of the various races, the older generation is not allowed to interfere. Otherwise, they will be punished. Do you still remember 3 years ago when your clansmen killed 13 ordinary Taoists and 4 heaven-defying Taoists in my clan's forbidden area and destroyed the 10th floor of the Sword Pagoda?" As soon as the voice of the Swordsmanship clan's elder faded, an old man from the Alchemist Guild stood up and said in a low voice, "My Alchemist Guild has always been neutral. The rules of the Ancient Races Treaty should be followed." The expressions of the people of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan changed again and again as they stared at Long Chun. The Dark Star Organization, the Alchemist Guild, and the Sword Worship Tribe were all speaking up for Long Chun and opposing the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. When the sacrificial elder of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan saw this scene, his entire face drooped. However, his mind was spinning rapidly. At this moment, he took Long Chun seriously. After a long confrontation, the sacrificial elder suddenly turned around and said to the clan leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, "This person destroyed the forbidden area of my Bright Moon Ancient Clan and killed many of my Taoists. We must not let him leave today. Attack! I want to see if they dare to go to war with my Bright Moon Ancient Clan today." The expressions of the people of the various ancient clans changed slightly. No one had expected the Bright Moon Ancient Clan to be so unyielding. Boom, boom, boom. However, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan did not give them more time to think. One after another, The elders of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, with peak combat strength, rushed out and instantly attacked the people of the various ancient clans. Among them, two safe-to-be realm experts flew into the air. After all, this was the forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. As soon as the battle began, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had an overwhelming advantage. When the elder of the Alchemist Guild saw that Long Chun had yet to take action, he glared at him fiercely and said, "What are you still hesitating for? This time, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan has been forced into a corner by you. It's fine if you killed people, but why did you turn this place into this?" Not only the elder of the Alchemist Guild, but also the people of the other ancient clans could not help but twitch their eyes when they saw that the forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had been turned into ruins. When Long Chun heard this, he shook his head as if he did not see the people of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan attacking each other. His eyes gradually fell on the place where the 9th full moon disk was originally located. "I see. The so-called passageway that connects to the celestial domain is actually this space." When Long Chun saw that the aura of the attacks of the people of the Bright Moon Disk was inexplicably shattered once they got close to the original location of the 9th full moon disk, he suddenly understood. The so-called passageway that connected to the celestial domain was not an actual passageway at all, but the space covered by the 9th full moon disk. As soon as Long Chun's voice fell, in front of everyone, streams of dragon chi accompanied by the origin energy bombarded this space. The moment the attack was launched, Long Chun instantly confirmed his guess, because this space was indeed very weak. With a simple attack, it had actually caused the space to shake. "How dare you?" Seeing that Long Chun was trying to launch this attack, the clan leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan soared into the air and instantly turned into a beam of moonlight. He passed through the crowd and headed straight toward Long Chun. Sage-level cultivation. Everyone's expression changed, and they rushed in front of Long Chun. They used their magical powers to help him block this attack. The people of the various clans gathered here for the Bright Moon Ancient Clan's passageway that connected to the celestial domain. Now that the passageway had been discovered, they must let Long Chun destroy it. Clan leader, do you still remember to help me take care of my wife and children?" Seeing that the clan leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, who had a sage-level cultivation, was invincible, a black light suddenly transmitted from the passageway to the forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. In the blink of an eye, it fell above the clan leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, and streams of sword chi crazily fell down. Long Chun did not turn his head and continued to bombard the space in front of him. He knew who had come. He also knew that he would definitely come. That day, he helped Han Xian to become a demon. Today was the day for Han Xian to repay his kindness and take revenge, so he would definitely come. With the arrival of Han Xian, the attacks of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan were relieved. As Long Chun bombarded hundreds of times in a row, the space in front of him also shattered into countless pieces with a loud bang. Chapter 440. Tear open a gap under the mighty space turbulence. The powerhouses of the various ancient clans were preparing to leave the forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Everyone had a playful look on their faces. This was especially true for the top forces. The forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had a passageway that connected to the Heaven Domain, which had always been the source of dread for the various clans. Now, not only had the passageway been destroyed, but many young Taoists of the Haoyu ancient clan had also been killed by Long Chun. This was undoubtedly a huge blow to the Haoyu ancient clan. At this moment, Han Xian's entire body was emitting a demonic blackish-purple color. His original source of power had completely turned pitch black after Long Chun had used an immortal technique to help him become like a demon. Faced with the siege of so many experts from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, his eyes were bloodshot like a demon from hell, choosing his prey to devour. The faces of the people of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan turned ashen. Who would have thought that Long Chun would destroy the entire forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan by himself? It even broke the passage to the Heaven Realm. My Bright Moon Ancient Clan will remember what happened today. The clan leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan and Han Xian exchanged a blow, and the space behind them disappeared. Under the influence of the Saint power, several Renhuangs in the middle and later stages of the Renhuang realm were sent flying. Their faces were filled with shock. However, today's matter had already come to an end. No matter how crazy the Bright Moon Ancient Clan was, it was impossible for them to leave so many powerhouses from various ancient clans here. Moreover, the space here had already begun to crumble. Long Chun followed the other ancient clans and left under the murderous gazes of the Haoyu ancient clan. Only Han Xian was still laughing madly and killing every member of the Haoyu ancient clan. Many people looked back with yearning and sighed. Everyone had heard of Han Xianji's character. He was originally a hero past his prime, but he did not have a good ending. Now, he had turned into a demon and slaughtered his own people for revenge. It really made people sigh. As the forbidden land of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan collapsed, everyone returned to the Forbidden Land's passageway. Rumble. As soon as the crowd walked out, they saw the teleportation light door left by the Bright Moon Ancient Clan at the Forbidden Passage crumble instantly. It turned into a space crack and immediately disappeared. Han Xian did not come out. He was still killing his way through the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Perhaps in his heart, he should have died in the battle with Long Chun. Now, how is this possible? What happened to the forbidden area of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan? Why is the passage shattered? The elder guarding the light gate in the forbidden area of the Haoyu Ancient Clan was in disbelief. He immediately looked at Long Chun with a murderous look. However, just as he looked at Long Chun, he saw several elders of the Sword Worship Clan staring at him and shouting coldly, "The Bright Moon Ancient Clan has violated the alliance treaty. What are you waiting for?" With everyone's command, the elder from a sword-worshipping clan actually took the initiative to attack. Strands of origin energy shot out and instantly killed the elder from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. The surrounding 2-star and 3-star ancient clans remained silent, as though they were judging the situation. They were all vassals of several overlord forces. Now that the forbidden land of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had been destroyed, many Renhuangs of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan were attacking Long Chun in the passageway of the Forbidden Land. Violating the alliance treaty in front of everyone was very likely to become an excuse for the other ancient clans to carve up the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Long Chen's lips curled into a smile. This was what he wanted to see. Inside the formation of the Forbidden Land, many vassal clans of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan saw that the other ancient clans here had fallen out with the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. They felt uneasy and left through the light gate of the Forbidden Land. After the various ancient clans had a discussion, they left one after another. Several elders of the Alchemist Guild came to Long Chun and the others. The leader of the elders clasped his fists and said to Long Chun, "Young lady asked me to pass on a message to you. The door of the Alchemist Guild will always be open to you." Long Chun responded with a salute. The elder nodded slightly and turned to leave. After everyone had left, Ao Sangqiong stared at Long Chun and asked, "What are you going to do next? The wilderness will be in chaos soon. You'd better return to the Dark Star Organization first. After all, you're the young master of the Dark Star Organization." Long Chun replied. Ao Sangqiong frowned slightly and said, "I'll go with you to the Worshipper Clan. The Dark Star Organization has nothing to do with me." When Long Chun heard Ao Sangqiong's words, he could not help but smile bitterly and did not say anything more. The four of them quickly left the passage of the Forbidden Land and quickly chased after the people of the Worshipper Clan. Then, they returned to the Worshipper Clan together. When the experts of various forces returned to their clans, the news of Han Xian's death spread in the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. However, his death also caused great turmoil in the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, causing everyone to be in a state of panic. After all, Han Xian was originally a member of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. When Long Chun and the others returned to the Worshipper Clan, the clan leader of the Worshipper Clan brought Jian Chun to personally welcome Long Chun and the others. Long Chun hurriedly went forward and greeted the clan leader of the Worshipper Clan. "These days, I've caused trouble for you, little friend Long Chun." Jian Fantian smiled helplessly and waved his hand to signal Jian Chun to come forward. Jian Chun stared at Long Chun and could not help but show a hint of fear in his eyes. He lowered his body and said in a trembling voice, "These days I've caused trouble for you. Please punish me." Long Chun smiled and shook his head. Although Jian Chun was a little narrow-minded, he was not very courageous. Many things were done by the third elder. If it was in the past, Long Chun would definitely not forgive him. However, the worshipper clan was so upright that he naturally would not take this person to heart. In fact, Long Chun had a good impression of the worshipper clan. This clan was straightforward and strict with themselves. They were the opposite of the Bright Moon Ancient clan. In his previous life, this clan had never retreated in the Battle of Infinite Region. With this in mind, Long Chun asked Jian Fantian how long until the Divine Corpse realm opens. Jian Fantian did not know why Long Chun asked this question. He pinched his fingers and pondered for a moment before replying. "Little friend, you asked at the right time. The Divine Corpse realm will open 2 months from today." Long Chun seemed to have just asked casually. Then, he followed Jian Fantian and the other elders to the inner hall. It was not until midnight that Long Chun and the others left the inner hall. In the next few days, Long Chun chose to go into seclusion after explaining many things to Jian San and the 3 war souls. It was not until the 7th day that he came out of seclusion. There was a milky white crystal in his hand. The crystal looked extremely ordinary, but there was a rising and falling new moon inside. Jian San and the others were surprised. They did not know what Long Chun had refined in the past few days. Long Chun's lips curled into a smile. He said faintly, "In the past few days, did the other ancient clans not take any action? Did they not take any action against the Bright Moon Ancient clan? Instead, it was unusually quiet?" The Yazi War soul nodded and replied, "Indeed. Although the Bright Moon Ancient clan is in chaos and the forbidden area has been destroyed, no one is willing to be the first to take the lead. The Bright Moon Ancient clan is one of the 4 one-star clans. They control the entire North region. Although the other ancient clans have the intention to take action, they are all waiting for an opportunity." Chapter 441. Leiwa clan after the battle in the Forbidden Passage. It was like the calm before the storm. The entire wasteland was unusually calm, but everyone could smell the flames of war, and today, within the sword-bearing clan, a group of people walked out majestically. The person in the lead was Long Chun. Ao Tsangxiong and the 3 mythological bee spirits were flying on Long Chun's left, while Jian San, Yi Hailan, and Qing Xian were on his right. Behind them was a group of several hundred Renhuangs, followed by several thousand Renhuangs. Most of these people had followed Long Chun since the northern region, and all of them cultivated the origin of the 5 elements. The other group consisted of the Juin ancient people and the clansmen led by the fighting souls of Tao Tai and Yazi. They used Long Chun's 5 elemental laws to become human kings. Then, they used the 5 elemental origins left behind by Long Chun to become human sovereigns. In their hearts, Long Chun was like a god. They had never thought that they would be able to follow Long Chun out of the northern region. Now, they were even able to travel among the many ancient clans in the wasteland. Everything seemed like a dream. Reaching the Renhuang Plain was something that none of them had ever imagined. But all of this had become possible because of Long Chun. Watching Long Chun's group leave, the worshipping sword clan's patriarch Jian Fantian and the other elders watched from afar. Jian Fantian said in a deep voice, "This person is really bold. He single-handedly made the Bright Moon Ancient clan the target of public criticism. He also found an excuse for the various clans to attack the Bright Moon Ancient clan. Now he wants to completely destroy this peace. Clan Master, all the ancient clans are eyeing the Bright Moon Ancient clan covetously. Since this person wants to take the lead, why don't we lend him a hand? This person's actions are open and honest, and he even has a peerless talent. His future is boundless." Everyone nodded. Many elders of the sword-shipping sword clan had a high opinion of Long Chun and his group after spending many days together. Jian Fantian shook his head slightly and said, "The more this is the case, the more we can't do anything. The Bright Moon Ancient Clan has been a one-star Overlord clan for many years. Even if the Tianyu Passage is destroyed, they should not be underestimated. Let the ancient clans to stir up the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Seeing Long Chun and the others disappear into the horizon, Jin Fantian turned around and left. Long Chun and the others traveled all the way to the north. After traveling for a full 5 days, they finally slowed down. The Yazi fighting soul looked into the distance and said to Long Chun, "There are 10 powerful 2-star ancient clans under the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. The Thunderfire Clan is one of them. This clan is located above the northern mountain chain mine, and there are 4 supreme-grade spiritual veins under it. This clan can be considered the richest clan after the Bright Moon Ancient Clan." Long Chen nodded when he heard the fighting soul's words. He smiled and said, "This place shall be the foothold of the Tsangji clan." As Long Chen's voice fell, there was a sudden commotion behind him. Everyone had a fiery and excited look on their faces. Ever since they came to the northern region, they had visited the Juin ancient people and then stayed in the sword-serving clan. However, they had never been able to establish themselves. When the Tao Tai fighting soul heard about the chain mines and the 4 spiritual veins, its eyes lit up and it could not help but drool. After swallowing 2 mouthfuls, he said to the Yazi fighting soul, "At that time, the Thunderfire tribe was as famous as our 2 ancient tribes. I remember that your clan is behind this clan. When you left with me that day, I'm afraid that your clan's land has been taken over by this clan, right?" Hearing the Tao Tai fighting soul's ridicule, Yazi snorted coldly. The Yazi fighting soul and the Tao Tai fighting soul had always been like this. Hence, he did not mind and continued to lead the group forward. Soon, they saw a huge mountain range. The mountain range shone with a strange silver-gray color, as if there were countless stars in it. As the mountain range crisscrossed, it was as if the mountain range was connected by chains. The Thunderfire tribe is located at the intersection of the mountain ranges in the chain mines, the Yazi fighting soul said to Long Chun. The chain mines were like a natural barrier. There were many resources in it, and it was indeed a good place to set up a clan. "Master, it seems that we are not the only clan here." Jian Shursan looked at the top of a mountain 10,000 meters to the left. Long Chun looked into the distance and nodded slightly. In fact, when he spread out his spiritual thought, he had already noticed that there were several groups of people hiding in the dark. After all, he had brazenly left the sword-serving clan. Naturally, the news had already spread to all the ancient tribes. Many people were waiting to see what would happen. Naturally, there were also people who wanted to take a share of the profits. However, Long Chun did not care. What he wanted was to stir up chaos in the wasteland and make the Bright Moon Ancient Clan fall into a state of eternal damnation. Only then could the Tsangji clan, which he led, rise. Long Chun was determined to establish a force in the wasteland that was strong enough to fight against the heavenly region. Rumble. While the various forces were still watching, Long Chun waved his hand and streaks of origin energy turned into a rain of swords that fell into the chain mines. The several groups of people hiding in the dark were stunned. No one had expected Long Chun to be so decisive. The leaders of the several groups sneered and looked at each other from afar. A sound-transmitting charm appeared in their hands. It turned out that the people hiding in the dark were cooperating with each other. The leader of the several groups whispered into the sound-transmitting charm in his hand. "Rumor has it that Long Chen's combat strength is monstrous. He has the cultivation to crush the heaven-defying Daozi, but now it seems that the rumor is false." "I think so too. Although the Thunderfire clan is a 2-star ancient clan, there are still many experts in it. There are also many elders of the Bright Moon clan guarding it. This person came and attacked as soon as he arrived. He is really brainless. Why do we care so much? As long as this person attacks, the ancient tribes will definitely not remain silent. After a short period of peace, there will be a stormy battle. No matter whether this person wins or dies, the water will be muddied. When the time comes, even if this person loses, our clans together will be enough to seize a supreme-grade spirit vein and several mines from them. In fact, these people had gathered here many days before Long Chun. They had been eyeing the mines and supreme-grade spirit veins covetously for a long time. After a round of discussion, everyone felt that Long Chun was extremely reckless and was willing to be used by the ancient tribes. However, when they looked at Long Chun and the others again, their expressions changed. They saw the sound of boulders tumbling from the 3 mines in front of Long Chun. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be corpses. The rain of swords had stopped, and the birds and beasts in the 3 mines in front of Long Chun flew away. Many people did not even have time to scream. Let's go. This clan has long been prepared. There are ambushes in each mountain range, but it won't be difficult to get rid of them. Long Chun led the crowd toward the 3 mines. Chapter 442. Terrifying combat strength. Although these people's cultivation bases were not high, most of them were only human kings. However, not only were the wounds on their bodies fatal, they had even shattered their souls. Under normal circumstances, it would not be difficult for these Renhuangs to do this. However, if the attack was spread across the 3 mines and accurately hit everyone, it would be a little terrifying. The few people in the lead looked at each other, and their expressions became a little more serious. They said in a deep voice, "No matter how intelligent this person is, it seems that his combat strength is definitely not weak. We still have to be careful." After discussing for a while, they set off once again, heading towards the mine. Many of the formations in the mine were intact, but they were not activated at all. Long Chun's attack didn't give them any chance at all. Long Chun and the others walked along the intersecting valleys of the 3 mines. Now they could clearly see a huge palace in front of them. Ao, Sangxiong, and the others also began to be vigilant. Although they were strong, they did not have an advantage in terms of numbers after the 2 battles with the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Facing the resource-rich Thunderfire Clan, they didn't dare to say that they had absolute confidence. Only Long Chun remained calm from the beginning, as if he had a card up his sleeve for this battle. An hour later, ripples of matrices appeared above the Thunderfire Clan, enveloping the entire valley. Many Renhuang cultivators appeared one after another. They looked at Long Chun and the others from afar. Among them, there were nearly 100 Renhuangs with a full moon behind them. They were the members of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. When these people saw Long Chun, their faces were filled with murderous intent. To the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, Long Chun was someone they had to kill. At the same time, except for the 3 mines that had been opened by Long Chun, there were array ripples flashing on all the other mines. Long Chun suddenly stopped and looked at the Lei Hua Ancient Clan from afar. His voice was like thunder as he said, "Those who leave this place will not be killed. Leave no one from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan alive. No one from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan would be spared." The corners of the eyes of everyone in the Thunderfire tribe twitched when these words were uttered. What arrogance! An old human emperor from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan walked in front of the people from the Tiredness Clan and shouted coldly, "Although I have heard that your combat strength is monstrous, you are too conceited to think that you can destroy us with just these people." As soon as the man finished speaking, he waved his right hand. Dazzling light beams shot out from the interconnected mines in all directions. They turned into blades that were tens of thousands of feet long and attacked Long Chun and the others. The blades of the formation that blotted out the sky shocked the several groups of people who were following Long Chun and the others from afar. Defend! However, just as the countless blades were about to fall, Long Chun shouted. As soon as he finished speaking, the light of the origins suddenly appeared on the bodies of many Renhuangs behind them. Holy technique, earthen sky-devouring formation. Holy technique, voices rang out in unison. The many Renhuangs behind Long Chun used the same saint-level defensive martial technique at the same time. Puff, puff. Earth elemental battle techniques that flickered with origin energy were conjured. They directly blocked the sky, forcefully blocking the formation blades. This attack shocked everyone in the Thunderfire Clan. They never thought that so many human emperors behind Long Chun would be able to use the same defensive martial skill in such an orderly manner. But before he had time to think, he heard Long Chun shout again, "Break!" Swoosh! Swoosh! In an instant, streaks of gung metal origin energy in the sky transformed into countless long spears that whizzed out. After sweeping out for 1,000 meters, they actually merged into one and forcefully pierced into the protective formation of the Thunderfire clan. Ripples spread out from the huge formation like water ripples. However, the attacks from the people behind Long Chun never stopped. In less than 100 breaths of time, the entire formation actually shattered. When Jian Shi-san and the three divine beast war souls saw this scene, their hearts were also filled with shock. Before they set off, Long Chun had given each of them a divine soul brand, but they had never thought that they would have such a valiant battle strength. The face of the leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan darkened when he saw this scene. "Kill them. I want to see how you can destroy a 2-star Ancient Clan." The leader of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan roared. Under the leadership of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, the members of the Thunderfire clan charged out. But soon, everyone discovered an extremely terrifying thing. Everyone behind Long Chun seemed to have merged into one and formed a battle formation. This battle formation was centered around the three divine beast fighting souls and Jian Shi-san. Above them, there was a blood sword that was thousands of feet long. Wherever the blood sword passed, even the Renhuangs were cut in half, and their blood was instantly sucked out. If that was all, it would be fine. However, outside of the formation, Long Chun, Sangxiong, Yi Hailan, and Qing Xian were unparalleled in their attacks. Each of them had the cultivation of a heaven-defying path disciple. With the battle formation behind them, they were simply killing machines. In particular, Long Chun held a long sword and charged directly into the Thunderfire clan. Wherever he passed, no matter if it was the Renhuangs of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan or the Thunderfire clan, they were no match for his sword. Several groups of people who were watching from afar saw this scene from the mountains. They felt their mouths go dry. No one expected this battle to be so strange. The number of people Long Chun and the others was not proportional to the number of people from the Thunderfire clan, but because of the blood sword battle formation, they were invincible. However, they did not know that this blood sword battle formation was one of the killing formations in the army when Long Chun established the Divine Nation in his previous life. As the number of people killed by the battle formation increased, the combat power of the blood sword would increase. Even the Tianyu domain, it could be said to be invincible. In less than an hour, more than 20 of the 100 Renhuangs of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had died. The Thunderfire clan had lost nearly 100 Renhuangs and thousands of Renhuangs. Seeing Long Chun and the others closing in, the people of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan quickly retreated and gathered together. All the people of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan kept whispering. New moons began to alternate behind them. Moonlight poured down like a waterfall and eventually turned into countless silk threads that merged into the void for a moment. All the people of the Thunderfire clan who were above the Renhuangs suddenly stiffened and stood in place in a daze. With the bloodline of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, I summoned the power of the Moon Seed. With the power of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, along with the violent roars, many people of the Thunderfire clan were horrified. The Renhuangs who were about to charge forward roared unwillingly. However, their cultivation and vitality were rapidly being annihilated. Chapter 443. Submission. At this point in the battle, the experts of the Lightning Fire clan fell one after another at a speed that left one speechless. However, they were not killed by the Bloodsword battle formation behind Long Chun. Instead, they were killed by the dozens of people from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. It turned out that all of the Lei Hua clan's Human King Realm experts and above had a moon seed planted in their bodies. In fact, this was something that all the major ancient clans had a tacit understanding about. The core vassal ancient clans under the Bright Moon Ancient Clan were generally controlled by the moon seed technique to prevent betrayal. At this moment, the dozens of people from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan were ready to fight to the death. Seeing the dozens of people from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan surging with moonlight, Long Chun raised his hand and motioned for everyone to stop attacking. His eyes were filled with disdain. In fact, if the Bright Moon Ancient Clan and the Thunderfire Ancient Clan worked together to resist, Long Chun and the others would suffer heavy casualties even if they managed to defeat the two clans. However, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan and the Thunderfire Ancient Clan seemed to be separated from each other. Not to mention the battle formations and battle techniques. Even when they attacked, they rarely helped each other. They were like a sheet of loose sand. Now, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had directly used the power of the Moon Seed to deprive the Thunderfire Clan's experts of their vitality and cultivation to enhance themselves. It was clear that they wanted to fight Long Chun to the death. Every one of them had a crazed look on their faces. Absorbing the cultivation of Ren Huangs of the same level on such a large scale put a great burden on their cultivation. Dozens of Ren Huangs from the Haoyu Ancient Clan glared at Long Chun. In their eyes, as long as they could kill Long Chun today, everything would be worth it. Seeing dozens of people walking towards Long Chun and the others, before the Jian San could form a battle formation, the milky white crystal appeared in Long Chun's right hand. The new moon inside the crystal began to flicker with a dazzling brilliance. When the dazzling brilliance landed on everyone, it was filled with a cold intent. It was incomparably strange. However, when the light landed on the bodies of the dozens of people from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, they felt as if they had been struck by lightning. What's going on? What did you do? The moonlight around the members of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan rotated rapidly like silk threads, as if it had turned into a huge cocoon. The faces of the dozens of people from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan gradually turned from gloomy to fearful. This was because their cultivations, which had just been raised by the Moon Seed, began to disappear at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ao, Sangxiong, Jian San, and the others also stared blankly at the crystal in Long Chun's hand. Only then did they realize why Long Chun had specially spent a few days refining this item before he left, and why he was so confident on this trip. This is the moon god's essence that you obtain from the forbidden area of your clan. I just added some modifications to it, Long Chun said calmly. At this point, he was too lazy to explain further. Several groups of people who had been on top of the chain mines looked at each other in dismay when they saw this scene. Their fear of Long Chun's people had already risen to the level of fear. Long Chun and the others had actually suppressed the people from the Thunderfire Clan and the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. It was too terrifying. What should we do? This person is about to win. With their combat power, I'm afraid we won't be able to get a share of the loot here. Damn it. How can these people have such powerful combat power? And the item in that person's hand can restrain the Moon Seed of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. What's going on? While everyone was discussing this, a middle-aged man with a knife scar said in a cold voice, "Although our clans are 3-star ancient clans, our strength is not weak. Now that the Waste region is about to be in chaos, we must not miss this opportunity. We may not be able to seize all the resources here from this person, but it doesn't mean that we won't be able to get anything. However, we'll have to use the Xin Yuan clan's name." The other few leaders frowned when they heard this person's words. They asked in a deep voice, "The Xin Yuan clan does have the intention to take us in. However, will they really attack Long Chen's group for us? Of course not for us, but if it's for the resources here, then it's hard to say." While these people were planning, the unwilling screams of the dozens of people from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan rose and fell one after another. Dozens of them were directly turned into skeletons. Jian San and the others naturally would not let go of this opportunity. They directly killed the dozens of people one by one with their swords and then shattered their spirits. In the place where they died, white moon seeds fell into the crystal in Long Chen's hand. Finally, they turned into a thick wisp of moonlight and disappeared into it. Long Chun looked at this wisp of moonlight, and there was a faint gleam in his eyes. This item would be of great benefit to him when he stepped into the Saint Realm in the future. The people of the Bright Moon Ancient clan were all dead, and Long Chun also put away this item. Seeing Long Chun and the others coming, the survivors of the Thunderfire clan all knelt on the ground and prostrated themselves on both sides. No one dared to look directly at Long Chun. Other than some of the older generation Renhuangs who had not been planted with the Moon Seed, there were only a few Renhuangs left in the Thunderfire clan. There were no other Renhuangs. They clearly knew that now. As long as Long Chun gave the order, they would have no chance of survival. All the survivors had been stunned by the combat power of Long Chun and the others. Moreover, without the Bright Moon Ancient clan, they had already lost the idea of fighting against Long Chun and the others. Long Chun walked slowly. Seeing that there were old, weak, women, and children in this clan, he felt sympathy for them. After frowning and being silent for a while, he said in a deep voice, "Now, there are two choices in front of you. First, leave this place, and I will not kill you. Second, stay here and guard the mines on all sides. I will leave you a supreme grade spiritual vein, but from now on, there will be no more Thunderfire clan in the Waste Realm. There will only be the Tsangi clan here." Long Chun paused and said, "Do you understand what I mean? I will only give you 10 breaths to consider whether you want to leave or stay. 1, 2. The remaining Renhuangs and Taoists of the Thunderfire clan looked at each other. When Long Chun counted to 9, they kowtowed together. From now on, there will be no more Thunderfire clan. There will only be the Tsangi clan. We are willing to make you our master." When Long Chun saw the Thunderfire clan like this, he only nodded slightly and did not care. The Thunderfire clan was weak at the moment. He kept them because he felt sympathy for them. The Thunderfire clan had no choice but to stay here. The people of this clan were not idiots. They could see that the Waste Realm was going to be in chaos and the forces would be divided again. If they left now, what awaited them would be destruction. Now, what they needed to do was to find a strong backer. Staying in the Thunderfire clan and relying on Long Chun was undoubtedly the best choice. In fact, the people of the Thunderfire clan did not have a deep hatred for Long Chun. On the contrary, they hated the Bright Moon Ancient clan. The root of all this was the Moon Seed and the Bright Moon Ancient clan's attitude of looking down on the other clans. Chapter 444. Pandemonium following the arrival of Long Chun and the others. The Thunderfire tribe gradually pacified their clansmen. Especially after Long Chun removed the Moon Seed from many people's bodies, he gained the favor of the Thunderfire clan. Long Chun took out the Moon Seeds from the bodies of many men and women. Seeing them hugging each other and crying, he shook his head and sighed. The Bright Moon Ancient clan would be the source of the Battle of Heaven Wasteland. At least 70% of the reason was due to the Moon Seed secret technique. Jian Shursan, the 3 mythological beast warring souls, and many other human sovereign realm cultivators all had strange expressions on their faces. This battle was truly frightening, but not dangerous. It had gone too smoothly. Where is the next battle? Yazi seemed to be very enthusiastic about the war and asked Long Chun. Long Chun shook his head and replied, "Repair all the formations here and reinforce them. Rest and recuperate for the next month. Don't attack again." Long Chun's words stunned everyone. On the other hand, Yi Hailon looked deeply at Long Chun, as if he knew what he was thinking. The Taodai fighting soul and his followers, who were originally filled with fighting spirit, were confused after hearing his words. They were like frosted eggplants. When Long Chun saw that everyone was behaving the same way, he explained, "Now that the hole has been torn open, the waste domain has been stirred up. The following matters will be handed over to the various ancient clans." After Long Chun finished speaking, he began to personally set up the formation. Qin Xian followed closely behind. Yi Hailon stood where he was and stared at Long Chun's back for a while. He did not follow him. Just as he was about to leave, he was stopped by Jian Shursan and the 3 mythological beast war souls. The Taotai fighting soul winked at her and asked, "You seem to know what our master is thinking. Hurry up and explain it to us." Although Yi Hailon had a beautiful face, Her cold arrogance kept people at a distance. Even though they were very familiar with her, the Taut-Eye fighting spirit was the only one who did not pay attention to her. Yi Hailon didn't seem to care. He just replied calmly, "Firstly, we are here to send a signal to the other clans. That is, someone has already begun to divide up the forces of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Secondly, all the major ancient clans will definitely take action soon. The entire desolate region will be in chaos because of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. The forces will also be divided again. At this moment, we have too few people. Thirdly, although Long Chen wants to destroy the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, it's impossible for us to do so with our current strength. It's better to let the various ancient clans fight each other. This is the time for us to recuperate." Yi Hailon said, word by word. Jian Shisan and the three divine beast war souls were stunned. On the contrary, many clan elders behind them nodded in agreement. In fact, there was another part that Yi Hailon didn't know. Longshin also didn't tell everyone about the Battle of Heaven Wasteland. This battle would come no matter what. However, now that he had destroyed the passage that connected the Bright Moon Ancient Clan to the Heavenly Region, it might come later. This period of time was enough to destroy the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. After that, the Battle of Heaven Wasteland would be the real cruel test. However, when the crisis came, it was also an unprecedented opportunity for all the major ancient clans in the ancient Desolation Land. After that, it was also the time for Long Chen to head to the 10th Heavenly Region. In the following days, the Taut-Eye fighting spirit directly entered the mind chain. Long Chen began to set up the formation and continued to teach everyone the method of battle formation. He also selected people with potential from the Thunderfire clan. As Yi Hailon said, although they were strong, they had too few people. In the blink of an eye, 7 days had passed. During these 7 days, the entire wasteland had undergone unprecedented changes. The battle that Long Chen and the others had fought here was like throwing a stone into a calm lake. Although the pebbles were small, they created endless ripples, one after another, as they passed each other. In an instant, the entire wasteland was in turmoil, whether it was the 3-star ancient clan, the 2-star ancient clan, or even the 4 great overlords, all began to fight. Among the 4 great overlords, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had become the target of public criticism. In just 7 days, dozens of vassal clans were destroyed. In particular, when the battle started, the first clan to appear was the 3-headed Golden Lion clan. This clan was a reclusive clan and displayed unparalleled combat power. Although only one Taoist was born, it shocked all the major ancient clans, and even the overlord clans were very wary of it. The leader of these Taoists was Luo Yang, who had been summoned by Long Chen outside the Juin ancient people. The 3-headed Golden Lion clan was like a sharp sword that pierced into the hinterland of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. It could be said that they were invincible. However, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan also displayed its strength as a 1-star ancient clan. All the Rinhuangs of the major vassal clans were summoned back, forming a powerful force. Not only that, all the major clans were in a state of war at this moment, but the Bright Moon Ancient Clan was completely unscrupulous in using the secret moon planting technique. Among them, the Taoists in the clan were advancing at a terrifying speed. It was not an exaggeration to say that their cultivation was advancing by leaps and bounds. Troubled times were a whetstone. This saying was true. In just 7 days, the entire wasteland had undergone earth-shaking changes. Finally, enemies appeared outside the Thunderfire clan. Upon closer inspection, they were the troops that had followed Long Chen and the others. Behind them, there were Rinhuangs who seemed to be covered in flames. These people were all wearing embroidered robes with the word Xianyuan printed on them. Is this the place? Isn't this the place where the Thunderfire clan is located? It is said that this place has been occupied by Long Chen. A young man who was the leader of the Xianyuan clan said in a deep voice. Several people behind him nodded. Immediately, they frowned slightly and stepped forward. They said in a deep voice, "This person's combat strength cannot be judged by common sense. Moreover, he has dealings with the Sword-Bearing clan, the Darkstar organization, and even the Alchemist Guild. We'd better not get into trouble. Everyone nodded. There was probably no one in the wasteland who did not know Long Chun. However, the young man who was the leader sneered and said in a cold voice, I have heard many rumors about this person before I left the clan. Today, I want to see for myself whether he really has 3 heads and 6 arms and can fight against the sage-to-be. Everyone could only smile bitterly when they heard this. The young man who was the leader pointed at the chain of mines and said to the people who had followed Long Chun, Tell me, which part of this place belongs to you? Now, you are a vassal clan of the Xianyuan clan. As long as it is your place, I will take it back for you. Several people looked at each other, and their faces suddenly showed a touch of joy. They pointed at the chain of mountains and said, without thinking, half of this chain of mountains was conquered by us, and there is a superb spiritual vein in it. Chapter 445. Soul-burning techniques. Several 2-star ancient clans were led by Yuan Cheng, a Taoist of the Xianyuan clan, toward the Thunderfire clan chain of mines. However, the few middle-aged men following behind Yuan Cheng revealed helpless expressions. Long Chen's name had spread throughout the waste domain a few days ago. Many of the older generation even thought that he would be the most heaven-defying person among the younger generation of Taoists. Although he had disappeared after the various ancient clans in the waste domain began to fight with each other, no one dared to underestimate him. The crowd headed straight toward one of the mines and then walked toward the valley behind the mountain. Originally, everyone except Yuan Cheng was cautious. After all, it was too easy to set up an ambush in such a mine. However, in the blink of an eye, they stepped onto the mountain top almost without any obstruction. Looking down from the top of the mountain was the valley. Inside the valley was the current Sangji clan, which was also the place where Long Chun and the others were staying. From the way I see it, this person is merely fishing for fame. What does he mean by being able to suppress those of the same level and fight against a Bansheng? If he really possessed such a cultivation, why would he hide in this place? Yuan Cheng pointed at the valley below and laughed. The other members of the Xianyuan clan did not answer. Instead, the leaders of the 3-star ancient clans hurriedly complimented. Even if this person has some combat strength, how can he be compared to Young Master? Young Master is one of the heaven-defying Taoists of the Xianyuan clan. How can he be compared to you? That's right. After joining the Thunderfire clan, this person only knows how to be conservative. He's obviously a short-sighted person. I think so too. How can he be compared to Young Master Yuan Cheng? Yuan Cheng laughed in the face of everyone's compliments, as if he was enjoying it. Yuan Cheng smiled and pointed at the chain of mines, saying, When I get this person out of here, these mines will be yours from today onwards. As soon as Yuan Cheng's voice fell, flaming divine light suddenly shot up from behind him. It instantly streaked across the sky and fell toward the clan guarding formation in the valley. Bang, bang, bang. The violent bombardment was like the roar of thunder, reverberating back and forth in the valley, surrounded by the chain of mines. When the light dissipated, Long Chun and Ao Sangxiong were already standing at the edge of the formation. It's only been 7 or 8 days, and someone is already attacking us, Jin Shursan said in a low voice. Yazi's eyes were as sharp as blades. He saw the Xianyuan clan from afar and said in a cold voice, It's the few groups that followed us. It seems that they have found helpers and want to fight with us for this place. Long Chun stood in front of the crowd, his face as calm as water. With a wave of his hand, the clan guarding formation that covered the sky retreated like a tide. Then, like a phantom, he went from the valley to the mine where Yuan Cheng was. Jin Shursan and the others followed closely behind. Seeing Long Chun and the others coming over, the middle-aged men behind Yuan Cheng immediately acted as if they were facing a great enemy. It was obvious that they were still quite afraid of Long Chun. Yuan Cheng looked at the people behind him and snorted coldly. He took a step forward and said, Are you the so-called Long Chun who can suppress the heaven-defying Paozi and fight with a half-saint? There was a smile on the corners of Long Chen's mouth. He did not reply. Instead, he stared at Yuan Cheng and said, the Xianyuan clan? I'm very interested in your clan's spiritual burning technique. Back then, Han Shi of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had used the spiritual burning technique on Long Chun in the passage of the Forbidden Area. This technique was also an extremely strange technique of the Xianyuan clan. In his previous life, Long Chun had also suffered at the hands of the Xianyuan clan because of this technique. Today, since the Paozi of the Xianyuan clan had sent them here, Long Chun would naturally not be polite. If they could obtain the burning spirit technique, it would undoubtedly increase their overall strength by quite a bit in the chaotic, desolate region. However, Yuan Cheng's face darkened as he stared at Long Chun. He sneered and said, "If you want to obtain my clan's spiritual burning technique, I'm afraid you're not qualified. It's not up to you to decide whether I'm qualified or not." Long Chun stared at Yuan Cheng and disappeared in a flash. However, his figure seemed to have teleported and appeared beside Yuan Cheng. Then, he threw out a punch. Yuan Cheng and the others' faces changed dramatically. No one had expected Long Chun to attack so decisively. Yuan Cheng's reaction was also very fast. His python robe fluttered even though there was no wind. Waves of flame power instantly soared into the sky. In a flash, his right fist was surrounded by endless flame divine power and blasted toward Long Chen's fist. Rumble. A loud boom caused the people around to retreat. In everyone's shocked eyes, Yuan Cheng was blasted out like a cannonball and heavily hit the mountain of the mine. The entire mine shook violently. Long Chun looked at half of his body that was surrounded by flames because of Yuan Cheng's attack. He frowned slightly and waved his right hand casually. The power of flame instantly dissipated. Hiss! The few middle-aged men from the Xianyuan clan who had been following behind Yuan Cheng saw Long Chen's action and could not help but gasp. Their eyes were filled with astonishment. The Xianyuan clan inherited the extreme flame fire vein, and the bloodline spiritual power was filled with violent flames. It was also one of the reasons why the Xianyuan clan could become one of the 4 one-star ancient clans. However, at that moment, the extreme flame power that was feared by all the clans in the Waste region did not even leave a scar on Long Chen's body. Before the few of them had time to speak, they heard Yuan Cheng's voice from the depths of the mine. It was like a roar of a demonic beast. He said, "You're courting death." Rumble. Yuan Cheng jumped out, and his body was instantly filled with flames that seemed to have materialized. A long sword straightened and was about to slash Long Chun with a terrifying aura. Roar! It was a pity that just as he flew out of the mine and his feet had not even touched the ground to get close to Long Chun, a giant beast exploded from the mine. The loud roar caused all the demonic beasts in the mine to crawl and whimper. The birds and beasts shrieked. Tao Ye's huge body rushed out of the mine and directly held Yuan Cheng in its mouth. The long sword in Yuan Cheng's hand turned into a pile of scrap metal in the mouth of the Tao Tai fighting soul and fell into its stomach. "You dare to come here and talk to my master? You're overestimating yourself." The Tao Tai fighting soul spoke in human language. Then, the divine light on its body flickered and turned into a human form. Its hands were like iron pliers, and they passed through Yuan Cheng's shoulders. Long Chun looked at Yuan Cheng, who was held in the hands of the Tao Tai fighting soul, like a little chick, and smiled. His gaze fell on the other middle-aged men from the Xianyuan clan. After a moment of silence, Long Chun said, "Let's go. Since someone forced us to come out of the mountain in advance, let's make a scene in the Waste region. However, we have to obtain the Burning Spirit skill of the Xianyuan clan. This skill is the best among the secret skills that can save our lives. There are a total of 9 grades. If we can obtain the first 5 grades, our overall strength will increase greatly." Chapter 446. To yield with folded hands, everyone was astonished at Long Chen's understanding of the Burning Spirit technique. Normally, the Burning Spirit technique that the ancient clans obtained was obtained from the Forbidden Area's passageway. It was impossible for them to come into contact with a high-grade Burning Spirit technique. However, after recovering from a shock, the leader of the group couldn't help but say to Long Chun, "Today's matter was caused by our Tao disciples' recklessness. Why don't you give a Xin Yuan clan some face and let it go? As for that spirit burning technique, even if you obtain it, it's impossible for you to use it on a large scale. Although this technique doesn't have any side effects compared to other secret techniques, and the battle prowess gained in a short period of time is extremely powerful, it has strict requirements. Hearing this, Long Chen's expression did not change. He only said in a deep voice, "You don't have to worry about that." Before Long Chen could finish speaking, Yuan Cheng let out another painful cry. The Taotai fighting soul's hand glowed with black light as it shouted at Yuan Cheng. "Did you hear my master's words? Hurry up and hand over the burning spirit skill. Otherwise, I will devour you along with your soul." The Taotai fighting soul's eyes caused Yuan Cheng's hair to stand on end. It was as if the Taotai fighting soul would open its mouth and swallow him whole. The middle-aged men from the Xianyuan clan hurriedly said, "Hold on. Although Yuan Cheng is a Taoist of our clan, his spirit-burning technique is only at the 7th grade. Moreover, this technique is passed down through a branding technique. It's impossible to pass it down through words." Long Chen frowned slightly. Judging from this person's words and actions, he did not seem to be lying. The Taotai fighting soul snorted coldly and said to Long Chen, "Since these people are useless, why should we keep them alive?" As his voice fell, an enormous tearing force descended towards the Xianyuan clan and the others. Long Chen waved his hand and said, "Since we can't obtain this technique, then let's go to the Xianyuan clan and ask for it ourselves." After saying that, Long Chen directly walked out of the chain mines and said indifferently, "Apart from the Xianyuan clan, kill everyone." As soon as he finished speaking, Long Chen disappeared from the chain mines. When the Taotai fighting soul and the Yazi fighting soul heard Long Chen's order, they did not hesitate to kill the instigators of the 3-star ancient clan. The few middle-aged men from the Xianyuan clan felt extremely delighted when they saw the miserable deaths of their companions. If it wasn't for the few of them instigating Yuan Cheng, how could things have developed to this extent? 2 hours later, Long Chen and the 3 mythological beast fighting souls left the chain mines with 300 renwings. Jian Shersan, Yi Hailan, Qing Xian, and several hundred human sovereign realm cultivators stayed behind to guard the clan. All of them found out from members of the Xianyuan clan that the various clans in an area of 50,000 kilometers had started to divide their forces once more, and their hearts couldn't help but burn with excitement. However, as they headed towards the Xianyuan clan's residence, they gradually calmed down. Everyone was filled with admiration for Long Chen's decision 7 days ago. Along the way, in just 3 days, they had experienced more than 10 battles of varying sizes. Among them, there were many ancient clans that joined forces. In one of them, they encountered several 2-star ancient clans that joined forces. There were close to 2,000 human sovereign realm cultivators and tens of thousands of human kings. Faced with such a large group, Long Chen and the others could only avoid them. In terms of combat power, Long Chen and the few hundred human sovereign realm cultivators were not afraid of thousands of human sovereign realm cultivators. However, they were unable to fight against several 2-star ancient clans. This also made the 3 mythological beast fighting souls realize that their foundation was too weak compared to the other ancient clans. They might not be able to find a match for those of the same level, but they were helpless when faced with such a large number of opponents. Tens of thousands of human kings were enough to kill hundreds of human sovereign realm cultivators if they went crazy. I can't believe that in just 7 days, the entire waste realm has undergone such drastic changes. The Kirin fighting soul could not help but sigh. Long Chen nodded slightly and said, "The division of forces in the waste realm is not clear. The 4 1-star ancient clans have countless subordinate clans. They do not know each other. 10 ancient clans in one place may belong to different forces. Once the 2 1-star ancient clans start a war, all the subordinate clans will start to become restless. A slight move in one part will affect the whole situation." Seeing the ruins of the various ancient clans, everyone knew that these 7 days would be the most intense period of the storm. The ancient clan of Star and Moon is in front of us. It is also the residence of the Xianyuan clan, the Xianyuan clan members said to Long Chun. When Long Chun and the others arrived outside the ancient clan of Star and Moon, the Xianyuan clan members were already standing outside. They were dressed in python robes and seemed to be surrounded by flames. Seeing this scene, Long Chun was not surprised. He had walked for 3 to 4 days to get here. It was normal for the Xianyuan clan to receive the news. Third Elder, save me! Yuan Cheng shouted loudly. Long Chun stared at the Xianyuan clan members. Before the Xianyuan clan members could speak, Long Chun waved his hand and threw Yuan Cheng and a few of the Xianyuan clan members out. The few of them were stunned. After a short moment of being stunned, they returned to the Xianyuan clan members. They did not expect Long Chun to let them go just like that. Are you afraid? Third Elder, quickly take them down. Yuan Cheng stared at Long Chun gloomily and shouted, "Slap!" As soon as he finished speaking, the third elder slapped him and sent him flying a few hundred meters away. The third elder said coldly, "From today onwards, you are not allowed to leave the clan's forbidden area for 3 months." The members of the Xianyuan clan kept quiet. The third elder frowned and walked to less than 100 meters away from Long Chun with a gloomy face. He asked, "Why have you come here today?" Spirit burning technique above the 5th grade. Long Chun's answer surprised even the 3 divine beast battle souls. When Long Chun said that he wanted to ask the Xianyuan clan for the spirit burning technique, they had guessed many ways. However, no one expected that Long Chun would actually ask for it face-to-face. He just said it directly. The Xianyuan clan members' gazes fell on Long Chun. The third elder was silent for a long time. Suddenly, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He stared at Long Chun and said, "How do you know that I will definitely give you the spirit burning technique?" "It's better to have one more friend than one more enemy," Long Chun replied. The third elder was stunned. Then he looked deeply at Long Chun. A beam of spiritual light streaked across his forehead and landed on Long Chun. Long Chun put away. He nodded slightly and cupped his fist to leave. The third elder looked at Long Chun's back as he left. His eyes flickered. In the end, he shook his head and sighed. Compared to this person, our Tao disciple is just like a child. However, there were some people who were puzzled. After all, the spirit-burning technique was a secret of the Bright Moon Ancient clan. However, in less than 100 breaths of time since Long Chun's arrival, the third elder actually gave up the spirit-burning technique above the 5th grade. Chapter 447. If you don't pledge your allegiance, your clan will be exterminated after Long Chun and the others left. Even the 3 mythical beast war souls did not expect the trip to be so smooth. Long Chun was not surprised. At this moment, the 1-star ancient clans were on guard against each other and were fighting everywhere. The Xianyuan clan gave him the spirit-burning technique not because of Long Chun's combat power, but because of his relationship with the Alchemist Guild and Dark Star. No clan in the Waste region dared to provoke these 2 forces. Furthermore, even if outsiders obtained the spirit-burning technique, it was impossible for them to use it on a large scale. Using this item to stabilize Long Chun's relationship with the Alchemist Guild and Dark Star was the intention of the Xianyuan clan's elder. After leaving the Xianyuan clan's encampment, Long Chun used his soul to forcibly imprint many copies of the spirit-burning technique and used his heavenly flame to grant several hundred people the right to use it. Although this method was somewhat unconventional, it was enough for them to use the spirit-burning technique once. After that, Long Chun and the others did not follow the instructions. Instead, they continued to travel east. Don't fight with the other ancient clans on this trip. However, if you encounter an ancient clan with good potential, you can recruit them, Long Chun said to the 3 mythical beast war souls. The 3 of them nodded heavily. During this time, they had completely understood the importance of numbers. If they wanted the Tsangji clan to grow, their first task was to increase their numbers. Under Long Chun's lead, the hundreds of people traveled east for 10 days. During this time, Long Chun and the others rescued 3 1-star ancient clans that were about to be exterminated and suppressed 2 2-star ancient clans that came to plunder. The number of people increased to 1,500. However, Long Chun did not stop. Instead, he sped up. After traveling for 5 days, an old man with a face full of wrinkles walked to Long Chen's side and asked respectfully, "Clan leader, are you going to the Dongwon clan?" Long Chen glanced at the old man and nodded. This old man's clan was about to be exterminated, but Long Chun and the others saved him. However, there were still less than 300 people left in his clan. The place he was looking for was the Dongwon clan. The Dongwon clan was the #1 ancient clan among the 2-star ancient clans in the Waste region. His clan was located in the east of the wasteland, where the sun rose. This clan is extremely well-versed in the art of battle formations. They are also the leader of the 2-star ancient clans. Ever since the wasteland fell into chaos, the 1-star ancient clan, the 9 Sons ancient clan, the Xinyuan ancient clan, and even the swordsman clan sent people here. Upon hearing this, Long Chun frowned and said, "Did no one from the Bright Moon ancient clan come? And this race still hasn't taken a stand?" The old man nodded. He seemed to understand this matter quite well. The corners of Long Chen's mouth curled into a smile, and he sped up. A day later, he and the others arrived at the Dongwon clan. As soon as they arrived, Long Chun and the 3 divine beast battle souls were shocked. There were 7 formation platforms on the 7 mountain peaks surrounding the clan. There were no less than 1,000 human kings on the platforms. The arrival of Long Chun and the others seemed to have been noticed by the people of this clan. There's a reason why the East Royal clan was recruited by all the overlords at the same time. In the past 7 days, almost all the clans have suffered more or less. And this clan didn't even send out their human sovereign experts. The Kirin woman couldn't help but glance at Long Chun and the others. Long Chun was about to speak, but the voice-transmitting talisman at his waist vibrated rapidly. Then he moved his fingertips and released the voice from the voice-transmitting talisman. When everyone heard the voice coming from inside, their faces immediately turned ashen. The Bright Moon clan had struck again. In the chain mines, the Bright Moon ancient clan had surrounded the Tsangji clan. There were 3 half-sane experts. 3 half-sane experts. When the people behind Long Chun heard this, they looked at each other in dismay. A look of horror flashed in their eyes. In this battle of the Waste Domain, the half-saint realm was enough to determine the outcome of the battle. This was enough to show that the Bright Moon ancient clan hated Long Chun and the others to the core. In order to kill them, they had sent out 3 half-sane experts. A murderous look flashed in Long Chen's eyes. However, he put away the voice-transmitting talisman and said in a deep voice, "Subdue the East Royal clan within 3 days. It will take a half-sane expert 20 days to break the formation that I set up." Long Chun had spent almost all of his 7 days on the smelting formation. He had also connected the Thunder Fire clan's protective formation to the foundation stones under the 9 mines with hundreds of formations. He had even set up the formation directly on a few supreme-grade spirit veins, with all kinds of methods. Unless the 2 half-saint experts had extremely high attainments, it was impossible to break the formation in a short time. Moreover, even if they turned back this time, if they clashed with the 2 half-saints of the Bright Moon ancient clan, they would absolutely not gain the slightest advantage. However, if they subdued the East Royal clan, it would be completely different. Long Chen's originally calm thoughts were completely disrupted by the voice-transmitting talisman. He walked directly toward the East Royal clan alone. The 3 mythological beast fighting souls and the rest of the people were about to follow him, but they were stopped by his shout. In the next moment, Long Chen's figure disappeared into the mountain range. When Long Chun walked into the mountain range, countless human kings on the formation platforms on the 7 peaks began to activate the formation. The entire mountain range was suddenly filled with murderous intent. However, Long Chun seemed to have disappeared. There was no way to attack him. In less than 100 breaths, Long Chun appeared again. However, at this time, the formation platforms on the 7 peaks had no power at all. Even the protective halo had completely disappeared. Long Chun looked from afar and said in a cold voice, "Ask your clan leader to come out and see me." On the 7 formation platforms, the human kings' faces changed dramatically. Without the protection of the formation, it was impossible for them to fight against a large number of human emperors. Everyone's eyes fell on Long Chun in unison. In the past, with the 7 formation platforms, even a team of 1-star human emperors did not dare to rashly step into the mountain range. However, Long Chun took a different approach. He stepped into the mountain range alone and broke through the core of the formation, connecting the 7 battle platforms at an astonishing speed. I didn't expect that there would be someone other than my East Royal clan who has such an understanding of formations. However, breaking the 7 peaks killing formation in 100 breaths. In a flash, brilliant figures passed through the mountain range and came toward Long Chun and the others. Before they appeared, their voices had already reached them. When his voice fell, more than a dozen human emperors had already arrived in front of Long Chun and the others. Illusory body, shifting formation? Interesting, Long Chun said. When the human emperors heard this, they looked at Long Chun with more and more astonishment in their eyes. The leader of the group, a man whose face was covered with formation patterns, asked Long Chun, "Your Excellency knows so much about formations. If it were in the past, I would definitely invite you into the clan for a chat. However, today, please leave." Unfortunately, Long Chun did not move at all. Instead, he stared at the group of people and said, "I want your clan to submit to me. I can make your battle formation reach unprecedented heights." The faces of the human emperors suddenly turned cold. They said, "Your Excellency is too arrogant. Even when several 1-star ancient clans came, our clan has never yielded. What makes you think you can do that?" Chapter 448. Formation of Sealing Extermination of the Clan. When Long Chun finished speaking, the faces of the Dongwang clan members turned cold. The people behind Long Chun kept quiet. They had joined Long Chun's team, but they had never seen Long Chun like this. Now that Long Chun was standing in front of them, everyone was terrified, especially his will that could not be defied. Even the Rinhuangs could not help but lower their heads. The leader of the Dongwang clan sneered. He stared at Long Chun and said, "You want to exterminate the Dongwang clan with just the people behind you? You must be dreaming." Long Chun's eyes did not fall on the dozen people from the Dongwang clan. Instead, they fell on the many mountains behind them and the 7 matrix platforms. "Remember what I said today. You only have 2 days. On the 3rd day, I will exterminate your clan." As Long Chun finished speaking, the brilliance in his right hand moved and blasted the figures of more than a dozen people from the Dongwang clan away. In the main hall of the Dongwang clan, many of the higher-ups looked gloomy. One of the elders said coldly, "This person is so arrogant and boastful. What are we waiting for? Let's just exterminate him." The middle-aged man, whose face was covered with matrix runes, looked into the distance and frowned. "You should have heard of Long Chun. This person rose like a comet in the waste domain. The chaos in the waste domain and the Haoyu ancient clan being targeted are all related to him. Maybe he is not lying." The middle-aged man seemed to be thinking about something, but he could not figure out how Long Chun could exterminate the Dongwang clan. However, he did not listen to the elder's words and really led his people to rush out of the clan to fight Long Chun and the others head-on. Long Chun had the combat strength of a half-step saint and had many Rinhuangs behind him. Although the Dongwang clan had the upper hand, they would have to pay a price if they fought head-on. Moreover, at this moment, the Dongwang clan was deep inside the clan. Relying on the many matrices here, the 1-star ancient clans were not willing to fight them head-on. The Dongwang clan chose to wait and see. They immediately activated the protective formation. It was as if Long Chun and the others did not exist in the outside world. They had long forgotten about Long Chun's words. In the outside world, the people behind Long Chun looked at each other. Finally, someone stood out and said to Long Chun, "This place may seem no different from an ordinary ancient clan, but it is filled with killing formations. This is especially true for the 7 formation platforms of this clan. They are the foundation of this clan." The old man spoke word by word, as if he was very familiar with this place. Long Chun stared at the 7 platforms and said to the old man, "If I'm not wrong, you used to be a vassal of this clan, right?" The old man sighed and nodded slightly. The Dongwon clan once had the opportunity to become a one-star ancient clan, but they failed in the end. Now, the Dongwon clan is far from its former glory. All they want is to lead their clansmen to survive. The old man replied, "How long has it been since the 7 battle platforms were opened?" "Every time a few are opened," Long Chun said as he looked at them with his sword in his hand. The old man did not know that if he had not just checked the 7 mountain peaks, even Long Chun would not have dared to say that he could take down the Dongwon clan within 3 days. The Dongwon clan was ranked at the top of the 2-star ancient clans, which was enough to show their strength. In fact, before Long Chun came here, he had used his divine thought to imprint the burning spirit skill on someone he trusted to cultivate it. That was why he had chosen to come here. Long Chen's sword scabbard emitted streams of origin source energy and drew countless complicated patterns in the air. Then, the patterns turned into a long knife and flew into one of the battle platforms of the mountain peaks. Hiss! When the old man saw Long Chen's action, he was stunned and looked into the distance. After the long knife, formed by the complicated patterns, entered the mountain peak, the entire mountain peak shook violently. Rays of light shot out tens of thousands of feet. The 3 mythical beast fighting souls and many others looked over, their faces full of shock. The battle platform on the mountain peak suddenly turned blue. Black formation patterns rose and fell one after another, as if countless thunderbolts were covering it. Finally, all the patterns shone and condensed into an illusory long knife 1,000 meters above the mountain peak. The moment the long knife appeared, the entire Dongwon clan seemed to be bathed in the light. In an instant, the entire land was filled with killing intent. However, the long knife turned back and pointed straight at the Dongwon clan from the sky. Within the Dongwon clan, many people looked at each other, their faces full of confusion. However, one by one, they began to kneel on the ground in reverence and worship the long knife. Only the elders in the conference hall rushed out and stood on one of the mountain peaks after 10 breaths. Their faces were filled with horror, and many of them couldn't help but tremble. The middle-aged clan leader, whose face was full of formation patterns, stared at the blade. Then, his eyes followed the handle of the knife and looked at Long Chun. "It's you. It's you who opened our clan's sealing formation. How did you do it?" The middle-aged man shouted. Long Chun stared at the man. His fingertips moved slightly in the air, and the long knife shadow in the sky began to move as if it was his own arm. 7 mountains. Each of them can release the power of the saint state. "It's really ingenious," Long Chun muttered to himself. Without waiting for the Dongwon clan to speak, he said again, "I know your clan is afraid. It's just the moon seed. I can take out all the moon seeds in your clan and not take them out. I can also restore your clan to its former glory and carry forward the path of formations." As soon as he finished speaking, Long Chun paused. Then he suddenly changed the topic and said coldly, "Of course, your clan can continue to do so, but I don't have time to waste with you." As soon as Long Chun finished speaking, the long sword in his hand began to draw in the air again. Then, one by one, the patterns rushed out again. On the remaining 6 mountains, divine light rushed out again. It was similar to the shape of the long knife just now, and it emitted a powerful force. "Sir, please wait. Give me a day to think about it." The people of the Dongwon clan were completely shaken. They did not know if Long Chun was telling the truth. However, the sealing formations in the 7 mountains were all opened by Long Chun. It made them tremble in fear. The clan leader of the Dongwon clan tried to communicate with one of them, but he realized that he could not move it at all. He could not help but feel sad. The 7 sealing formations were the foundation of his clan, but in reality, he could only open 2 of them. However, Long Chun, an outsider, could open 7 of them with a wave of his hand. Chapter 449. A Common Enemy. Long Chun didn't know about the existence of the sealing formation beforehand, but when he cut off the connection between the many human kings on the formation platform and the formation, he discovered the secret within. With his powerful divine will and his understanding of array formations, not only did he manage to break the weak connection within the array formation, but he also managed to obtain everything within the array formation eye. Now, he could control the ceiling formations at will. However, Longchen also discovered that the 7 ceiling formations had actually decayed to an extreme state. Time flew by. Longchen knew that the people of this clan would definitely compromise. Previously, he had heard that apart from the Bright Moon Ancient Clan, the other 3 forces of the 4 great one-star ancient clans had extended an olive branch to this clan. Today, when he tried to sound them out, the people of this clan did not reply. Thus, he knew that his guess should be correct. This race had been planted with the moon seed. Longchen could not help but shake his head slightly. At this moment, it seemed that the Bright Moon Ancient Clan had become the target of public criticism. But in fact, the strength of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan was absolutely not to be underestimated. At that moment, the Dongwon clan was in chaos. They were terrified that Long Chun could control the 7 ceiling formations, but they were also terrified of the moon seed in their bodies. If Long Chun failed to remove the moon seed, what awaited them would be the wrath of the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. Clan leader, do you think we can trust this person's words? Can he really remove the moon seed? An elder's face was gloomy. In fact, the Dongwon clan's hatred for the Yuhaoyue ancient clan was no less than Long Chen's. This clan originally had hopes of becoming a 1-star ancient clan, but 70% of the reason for their failure was the Bright Moon Ancient Clan. The clan head released a long breath and looked at the 7 divine lights in the sky. He said helplessly, "Do we still have a choice? Tomorrow, gather all the sovereign personages and above in the clan and follow me out of the ritual array. If this person can remove the moon seed, then there's still room for negotiation. If he can't remove it, then we can only fight to the death. Otherwise, the Bright Moon Ancient Clan can use the moon seed to completely annihilate the backbone of our clan." Everyone's faces were gloomy and uncertain. They did not sleep for the entire night. This continued until the next day. The mighty group walked out of the matrix towards the pressure of the divine light in the sky and came before Long Chun and the others. Everyone looked at Long Chun and the team behind him with a wary expression. Seeing the crowd walk out, the 3 divine beast war souls and the many human sovereigns behind them were also on alert. Their eyes revealed a hint of surprise. Along the way, they had seen many 2-star ancient clans. Although many 2-star ancient clans were known as 2-star ancient clans, they were actually inferior to 3-star ancient clans. Most of the ordinary 2-star Renhuangs of the ancient clan were only in the top 3 levels. However, apart from the human kings, the Dongwon clan had about 3,000 human emperors. Among them, half of them had powerful auras that had already surpassed the 3rd level of the human emperor realm. Everyone's eyes were filled with shock, but there was also a trace of excitement. If Long Chun took this clan under his command, then their days of silence would come to an end. Long Chun stared at the leading human emperors of the Dongwon clan and said in a deep voice, "If you are ready, I can remove the moon seed in your clan now." Everyone had just stood up when they heard Long Chen's words. The leading human emperors of the Dongwon clan looked at each other. The clan leader frowned and stared at Long Chun. Then he said in a deep voice, "The moon seed of my clan was personally planted by a saint of the Haoyu ancient clan. It is far more powerful than the moon seeds in other ancient clans. Are you sure you can remove it?" Long Chen's lips curled into a faint smile as if he did not hear this person's words. However, a crystal ball of light appeared above his right hand. Inside it, a new moon was undulating. This ball of light was refined with the essence of the moon god and contained many formations. Even the Haoyu ancient clan did not expect Long Chun to be able to use the essence of the moon god to create this object. Hiss! As soon as this object appeared, nearly 60% of the human emperors of the Dongwon clan broke out in a cold sweat. They half squatted on the ground as if they were enduring great pain. Clang! The remaining 40% of the human emperors of the Dongwon clan suddenly shone with divine light. Their faces were filled with murderous intent as they stared at Long Chun. "This crystal belongs to the Haoyu ancient clan. One of the elders said, his voice full of resentment. Swords and sabers were drawn, and the two sides were about to fight to the death. Wait! The clan leader of the Dongwon clan, whose face was covered with formation patterns, stood up while enduring the intense pain. As he roared, the people of the Dongwon clan behind him stopped what they were doing. However, in the next moment, he fell to the ground and spat out a mouthful of blood. At the same time, 60% of the people of the Dongwon clan did the same. However, a strange scene occurred. Rays of moonlight flew out from the bodies of the human emperors and human kings in front of Long Chun and the people of the Dongwon clan. Like a meteor shower, they rushed toward the crystal in Long Chen's hand. It's true, it's true. This person is stripping the moon seed from our bodies. After so many years, our clan is finally free. The Hallyu ancient clan is irreconcilable. Loud shouts rang out one after another, and even the clouds in the sky were shattered. The people of the Dongwon clan were all cheering. Long Chun looked at the moon seed in the moon god essence and nodded. As he helped these people get rid of the moon seed, he also took away all the pure power in the moon seed. The moon seed has been removed. Can you all follow me? Long Chun said as he stared at the people of the Dongwon clan. After a short moment of excitement, the people of the Dongwon clan fell silent. Their eyes fell on the middle-aged clan leader. The clan leader slowly straightened his back and stared at Long Chun with his burning eyes. After a long while, he took a deep breath and bowed deeply to Long Chun to greet him. Following his action, the people of the Dongwon clan also bowed in unison. The scene was extremely shocking. Our clan will never forget the kindness you have shown us today. However, if you want us to follow you, I have a condition, the middle-aged clan leader said with a burning gaze. Long Chen nodded and motioned for him to continue. I want you to swear a blood oath with me to destroy the Hallyu ancient clan together, the clan leader of the Dongwon clan said. Destroy the Hallyu ancient clan together. Destroy the Hallyu ancient clan together. The people of the Dongwon clan shouted one after another and resounded in the sky. Long Chen sneered and said coldly, "Don't worry, the Hallyu ancient clan's good days have come to an end." The two of them looked at each other and smiled. Blood flowed from their fingertips as they swore. When the three divine beast fighting souls saw that the Dongwon clan had surrendered, they were excited and full of fighting spirit. From today onward, they would have the strength to fight the Dongwon clan. With the help of this clan, they would no longer have to endure. After some instructions, the powerhouses of the Dongwon clan followed Long Chun and left for the Tsangji clan. Chapter 450. The Battle of Vengeance. It would be too much of a waste to leave the 7 mountains behind. Many people from the Dongwon clan nodded in agreement. These 7 mountains contained the foundation of his clan. The 7 types of ceiling formations were the foundation of his clan. Later on, they were repaired by a half-step saint expert, which was why they were so powerful. However, the semi-sage experts of the other clans had all perished at the hands of the Bright Moon Ancient clan. It was precisely because of this that the Dongwon clan was unable to become a 1-star ancient clan. I'm ashamed to say this, but these 7 ceiling formations were left behind by our ancestors. They're extremely damaged, and our clan has gradually lost the ability to control them. On the other hand, you can control them with a wave of your hand. The clan leader of the Dongwon clan was helpless. His clan had always been good at formations, but as time passed, there were fewer and fewer people in the clan who knew about formations. The inheritance of formations was also gradually declining. Take this ceiling formation away. I've said it before. I'll restore your clan to its former glory. Long Chen's figure suddenly disappeared as soon as he finished speaking. He stood in the middle of the 7 mountains, and streams of earth origin energy and metal origin energy gushed out from his hands. Rumble. The mountain range was vast and mighty, and for a moment the earth was shaking. Rays of golden light blossomed, and the origin of earth spread out like a tide. The 7 mountains actually rose from the ground. The ground beneath the 7 peaks was actually dragged along by Long Chen's origin energy and then enveloped by it. In the end, it disappeared from above him. The grand scene stunned everyone on the spot, but they still didn't know how Long Chen did it. In fact, Long Chen had only moved the 7 sealed lands into the Dragon Palace. After that, Long Chen and the others didn't stay any longer and quickly returned to the Zhangji clan. 2 half-saints and many Renhuangs. There are so many people from the Bright Moon Ancient clan. How can we repel them? The Kirin woman whispered to Long Chen. Long Chen nodded and said, "Give this battle matrix to the cultivators above the Renhuang level. Let them comprehend it on their way back. It won't be difficult for 2 half-saints to defeat them." After the Kirin woman gave the soul brand to the many Renhuangs of the Dongwang clan, the clan members all looked surprised and were even more in awe of Long Chen. Using the spirit brand to directly inherit the battle formation, the requirement for this team's spirit power was extremely high. This battle matrix has reached the Saint tier. How is this possible? An elder of the Dongwang clan exclaimed as he suddenly opened his eyes. The Dongwang clan had an extremely high level of attainment in the art of battle formations. However, the art of battle formations had withered. It was likely that even the great 1-star ancient clans did not have a saint-level battle formation. However, Long Chen was able to impart the knowledge directly to each of them with his divine soul imprint. There's also this secret skill. This is the Burning Spirit secret skill above the 5th rank. It's a secret skill of the Xianyuan clan. The clan leader of the Dongwang clan stared at Long Chen in shock. Long Chen did not turn his head and said, "You can fuse with it now. After that, I will find a way to give you part of the flame power that can mobilize this thing." You mean that this burning spirit technique can be used by all of us? The clan leader of the Dongwang clan could not believe it. There are very few people who could use the burning spirit technique. He had also heard of the restrictions. Even a few Taoists of his clan had obtained this technique from the forbidden area of the Xianyuan clan. However, he had never thought that this technique could be used on such a large scale. Such a powerful battle matrix, and the large-scale use of the burning spirit technique. The Dongwang clan looked at Long Chen's back with a touch of seriousness. Perhaps the young man in front of them really had the potential to trample the waste realm. The people of the Dongwang clan were very excited. The 2 things that Long Chen had given them were very tempting to them. They took turns to perch on the flying demonic beasts. As they moved forward, they cultivated the 2 techniques. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 days had passed. Looking from afar, they could already see the shadow of the chain of mines. However, at this moment, the chain of mines was very dilapidated. It was almost like an endless mound of earth. Only in the middle was a light screen that was still flickering. Countless attacks were constantly falling from the light screen. There were more than 1,000 people of the Bright Moon Ancient clan who were constantly bombarding it. Long Chen's face was gloomy, and he led the group to increase their speed again. The group of people of the Bright Moon Ancient clan soon discovered Long Chen's huge team and stopped attacking the light screen. That's the clan leader of the Dongwang clan. There's also Long Chen. A skinny, bamboo-like old woman said in a voice that sounded like the grinding of nails. "I knew that Long Chen would definitely come back. But what's the matter with the Dongwang clan?" Another old man in a brocade robe said in a deep voice, "Isn't his clan a spy left here by our clan? Why is he traveling with Long Chen?" As the 2 spoke, they exuded an extremely terrifying aura. When their attacks landed on the light screen, they splashed out tsunami-like ripples. Many people in the formation were in great pain. Long Chen and the 3 war souls of the Dongwang clan arrived. When they saw the 2 semi-saints and the Bright Moon Ancient clan, the people of the Dongwang clan were shocked. The clan leader even said in a hoarse voice, "Bright Moon Ancient clan, today we will settle the old and new grudges together." In the past, although the Bright Moon Ancient clan rarely interfered with the internal affairs of the Dongwang clan, they secretly exploited the clan. In particular, they destroyed the Dongwang clan's hope of becoming a 1-star ancient clan and planted the moon seed. This was a shame that the clan would never forget. When Long Chen saw the Dongwang clan's behavior, although there was a murderous intent in his eyes, he did not immediately order everyone to attack. Does the Dongwon clan want to die? How dare you speak to the bright, moon ancient clan like this? Don't forget your identity. The two semi-saints of the bright, moon ancient clan shouted coldly. The veins on the faces of the people of the Dongwon clan were bulging, and divine light could not help but burst out from their bodies. They took a deep breath and said along Chun, "Please let the Dongwon clan deal with this group of people. Today, even if we have to pay the price in blood, we will use their blood to wash away the shame of our clan. I want to use the lives of these two semi-saints to tell the whole Waste Realm that the Dongwon clan will always be the enemy of the Bright Moon Ancient clan." Long Chan frowned slightly and looked at the appearance of this person. After a long while, he sighed and nodded. The Renhuangs of the Dongwon clan were fighting against the two semi-saints and the other members of the Bright Moon Ancient clan. If they used the battle formation and the secret, they could fight, but casualties were inevitable. After all, the semi-saint realm was not something that the Renhuangs could compare with. Seeing that Long Chun had agreed, the Renhuangs of the Dongwon clan leaped out. Everyone's eyes were filled with murderous intent. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.